take the ideas that you have, that you've learned, and go and execute on them. Hey, what's up? It's Aaron, and welcome back to the CashPT Lunch Hour Podcast. Today, what I want to do is really wrap up for you like the latest season of the CashPT Lunch Hour Podcast, Season 3. We just finished up PT Biz Con, so I want to give you a little rundown of my big takeaways from PT Biz Con, and then what's coming up next. So it's not going to be a long episode, at least I don't think. But the main thing is I want to say thank you for being a listener. I've heard from so many people recently how the podcast has helped them in their life and their business. And I never really thought that was going to be the case when I started out recording these episodes, I don't know, maybe 2013, 2014. Some of them, if you haven't listened to the beginning of the podcast, you may or may not be able to get it through the iTunes app, but make sure you go all the way back and listen to episode number 1. You can find it over on our website, LeBauerConsulting.com. if you're looking for it, and it doesn't show up when you click on all episodes in iTunes. We just wrapped up PT BizCon 2022, and if you were there, I want to say thank you. You had an amazing time. If you weren't there, I get it. You probably had some better things to do or other things, or maybe you didn't even know about it. Maybe you're one of the people that just didn't know about it. And that's so cool. I want to wrap up and summarize a few big takeaways that I got, that our Platinum Mastermind members got. And if you're one of our newest Platinum Mastermind members, I just want to say congratulations and welcome. We're getting you started with your kickoff calls and getting you set up with your game plan this week. We had so many people join, and it was amazing. It was an amazing event. And so if you were there, you were there. If you've been there in the past, this is an even better year. And I'm looking forward to next year. So let me I'll see if I can get through all those things. But one, I want to shout out all our sponsors. Without our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to really put this on and give away. We gave away thousands of dollars in prizes. We gave away, so JaneApp, Allison Taylor and JaneApp have been a sponsor for 3 years in a row. So thank you. Big shout out goes to JaneApp. And then we've got, I was going to go look and see if I had a special link. But if you go to JaneApp and you use if you want to sign up for a demo or to use their software, and you use the words CashPT when you sign up in the comments or notes box, you'll get they'll give you a free. I think they said they'd give you a free month, or at least they give you some special deal. So go put CashPT in there if you're signing up with a new account for JaneApp. GoCard Connect is also a sponsor for 3 years. Tom Cooley is my friend, and we've been working together for 5 years. And they do payment processing and help and merchant accounts for businesses. We save a lot of money every month over using Square, which I was using Square before. So if you want a free merchant, a merchant assessment, they'll run a report, show you what you can save if you can save money. You go to LeBauerConsulting.com/payments, and that'll get you there. My friend Urson Religioso donated some BFR cuffs, for the arms and legs, and the sphygmomanometer thing to pump it up. I haven't done BFR training, although I've got his latest course, and so he donated those. So that's the Edge Mobility store. So make sure you go to Edge Mobility. They have all kinds of products. Urson was a speaker last year. 2 years ago at our first PT BizCon, he sells all kinds of products to help you equip your clinic. He was the inventor of he's got the Edge tool, and it's often a lot of people have copied it. And then we got some sponsorship from Rock Tape. Rock Tape sent us some rock pods and rock bands and Rock Tape to give away, and Roll Recovery sent us a big roll kit. It's with a mat and their roller and their foot roller and some other stuff in there. So I want to shout out to those guys. Also, shout out to the other thing is, I want you to know, Stand the Haiti Project. We partnered with Stand this year, and Stand the Haiti Project isn't a sponsor, but it was virtual, And in order to get everyone an event t-shirt, so in order to win like the swag and the prizes, like we gave away $1,100 in Amazon gift cards. I went and used some of the sponsor funds to buy AirPods and HomePods and a whole entrepreneur library. So we've got a whole bunch of books in the entrepreneur library that we gave away. We gave away some National Parks coffee. I gave away a trip to Entrepreneur of the Year won a trip to the national park of your choice. So in order to win, you had to wear your PT Biz Con t-shirt. And so I set up an online store, and instead of saying, "Hey, Aaron, I'm going to make a profit off the $3 or $4, from each shirt," what I did was I priced the shirts high enough so that for every shirt we could donate $10. So for every shirt that people bought, we donated $10. We were able to donate $10. And so I also put in designs for my 80% is good enough shirt and the I Work for Patients shirt. And this is really the only place you can get those shirts. We raised, there it is, $849.70 in profit. So we had $849.70 that Threadless is sending to me, or has sent, or will be sending to me in the next few weeks. And so what I wanted to do was match the profit, but I realized that wasn't enough, right? So, so sending a $1,600 gift, I was like, that's easily doable. So what I did is we looked at the total amount of money spent in the store from people. So when you spend money in the store, you pay, Threadless keeps $20 of it because they're going to ship it to you and they're going to make it and they have to have a profit. And then they ship anything above the cost to me. So what I decided to do was say, let's round it up and say all the money that was spent in the store from PT BizCon, and we're going to give that to Stay in the Haiti Project. So it was a little over $3,100 total spent in the store. And I made a donation this past Monday to Stay in the Haiti Project. And, they didn't know about it, or I actually told them early on. I wasn't going to tell them. I asked early on, I asked Justin Dunaway, I said, hey, our plans is to make a donation, because I really wanted to be able to get their logo so I could share their logo and have their logo on the website and just raise more awareness with them. Because I kind of feel like donations, I don't want to, convince you to join because of the donation. I want you to donate, and I want to donate on my own, but I also wanted to raise awareness to them. So I talked to them earlier on and got their details and logo and everything. We raised some money, matched it, and then rounded up to really, what everyone spent in the store. And so we made a $3,100 and change donation. The coolest thing is that these guys, is what Justin told me, is that it's going to cover 5 months' salary for one of their physical therapists who works in the clinic that they've set up down in Haiti, which is incredible. It's like, wow. So we've paid for almost 6 months of salary for a physical therapist in Haiti to work in their clinic, providing physical therapy and adaptive equipment for people down there who otherwise weren't going to get any physical therapy at all, which I thought was really incredible. So my goal next year would be, how can we raise $6,000 so we can pay for a full year's salary and really make an incredible difference. So if you don't know anything about Stay in the Haiti Project, make sure you go check them out. Send them $20. They're doing some amazing things in the physical therapy industry, and your dollars go so far. I didn't actually realize that until he got back to me and was like, holy cow, Aaron, I didn't realize the amount of gift you guys were going to give. They also have a newborn, I think, and so they've been busy. But I was shocked at how far our dollars are going to go. So I'm really excited about continuing to support them. So let me just run down the speakers and some of my big takeaways from the speakers. And then also before I want to give a shout out to the Entrepreneur of the Year. So the speakers, here's what I learned. I'm going to try to go through, I can tell you what I taught other people. I don't know. Did I learn anything from what I taught? I taught about the 4 futures, really how if you're not growing, you're dying, because in your business, even if you decided to coast, with inflation being somewhere between 7 and 10%, you're losing 7 to 10% income if you're not growing faster than inflation. So if you're not growing, you're dying. And there's 4 different options. There's the ideal, there's okay, there's poor, and disaster. I don't know where you would want to be but I want to be on my ideal trajectory. And we showed people how to get on the ideal trajectory. We did I taught how to make a 5-minute lead magnet, and really how do we get leads to build this lead magnet. So you want to make sure that people want the thing before you spend a bunch of time building it. Otherwise, because it's not always true, if you build it, they won't always come. Because if you build it, it might be the right thing for them, but they might want something else. And then I just on Saturday, talked about the 6 successful traits of all successful physical therapists, the 6 traits of all successful physical therapists. But here's my big takeaways from some of the speakers. And I also taught the 4 stages of PT business owners. So if you want to learn those things, if you listen, there's no replay to buy, but you just have to understand that we go through different stages as physical therapists, as business owners. And the number one thing we can do if we want to run a business is to learn business and not just learn more clinical skills. That's really what it boils down to, because not a single person got CEUs for attending PT Biz Con. So here's the speakers. I wanted to keep this short, but Aaron likes to talk. Megan Greco was the first guest speaker from Megan Greco PT and Fitness. And Megan Greco talked all about how the goal is to work less and make more money, and that how SSPTs were gatekeepers to other allied health professionals, and we should be paid for it, and that your problem with money is in your head and not theirs. So she's built a clinic in her home, so she's got a separate room in her home, and which is allow her to spend more time with her kids, have extremely low overhead. She's hired 2 other people, and she's growing it, and she's also now teaching other people how to do the same. Brandon Smith came and spoke. Brandon's from Out of the Box Income and Investing, and Brandon talked about how degrees aren't necessary, and that if you really want to make a significant amount of money as a physical therapist, you really got to build a business, because it's faster and less expensive than trying to climb the corporate ladder, or even if you want to make $100,000 or $200,000 as a home health physical therapist, it just takes a lot of time. You can still make a lot, but it takes a lot of your time. And if you're doing that, you want to use your extra revenue to invest in growing your business. And he talked about how degrees aren't necessary, but he's adding more degrees because he's using it in his business. Those are my big takeaways from Brandon. And Ben Bagge from Pro+Kinetix, Rehab, and clinical marketer came and talked to us about how to take your business from 6 to 7 figures. It's something that he built a 7-figure business in 3 years, came into our Platinum Mastermind, and we took him immediately from about $22,000 a month to $33,000 a month by updating his sales script and pricing. And then over time, we got him out of the business and got him up to $65,000 a month. And that was by March or April or May to 2020, and took him to $500,000 through 2020. And now he's doing over $1 million a year. And his fastest growth was in 2020, which is just incredible. And a big part of that was the systems, was hiring, was treating his business as something to sell so that he could replicate it and move back to Iowa. And Jessica Warnecke from Pace PT. Jessica started in the CashPT blueprint years ago, and she's built an incredible business in Austin, Texas, helping hundreds of thousands of people on Instagram. I mean, she hit over 100K in Instagram sometime in the last few months, and she talked about being in flow and money energetics, and how money is energy, and nothing. She said, set boundaries for your time. Another big takeaway was nothing changes if nothing changes. If you want something to change and you don't do anything about it, it's not going to change. And that sometimes we just need to let go of the things that we don't want and move into a new place, for our health, for our fitness, for our money, for our business growth. Jenney came and spoke and shared about how to stop trading time for money, and how she's making $30,000 a month, just working 2.5 days a week. She's another one of our mastermind members who actually started with us after PT BizCon 2020, so the very first year, and her trajectory of growth has gone every year, seeing what's possible. She said, I first thought, only making $10,000 a month was what I wanted. And now I realize I could make 20. And now my goal is how do I make $1 million a year, but also doing it without taking away time from her personal relationships. And she said, create rope offers, residual, online, proven, and evergreen. Stephanie McMillin came in. She was one of the last guest speaker on Friday and talked about how she built a business from basically scratch to $180,000 in her first year. I think she made $10K in her first 8 days or first week, or maybe it was $8,000 in her first week. I mean, something like incredible, treating patients 3 days a week. And she's also a birth doula, and she talked about how to be visible, and that we're weary and distrustful of something that's perfect. So whether it's in your Instagram or your copy or your presentation, like trying to be perfect, people are distrustful of perfect. They want to see the imperfections. And the other big takeaway from her was when you're working on your Dream 100, which is one of the first strategies we have our new mastermind members work on, she said, think of it like your Dream 10. You break it down into small bits. Just start with 10 people and really even focus on 2 people per week. And in doing that is one of the ways that she grew her business incredibly quickly. So day 2, Alisha Weilfaert from Yoke and Abundance. She's one of a friend of mine, but she's also been a business partner of my wife. And she came in and talked to us about how to navigate failure. And she said, you can't change the world, you can only change yourself. She reinforced the idea that action stops fear, or action beats anxiety, and commit to doing the thing that gives you butterflies, and create a failure resume, which is really good. And then Bedros, my business coach, came and spoke, and he talked about how his entrepreneurs were crazy. Like, we are the crazy people. Like, we're doing things, we're taking risks that most people would think are just incredibly insane. And he talked about how you can use money to do good and create influence, and influence change you believe in. So make money, donate it to causes, donate it to politicians, whoever, to influence change that you believe in, right? And think big and have a clear vision, and be clear on your vision and the mission. Like, what is it that you want to do? Give yourself a timeline and be clear. Make sure your whole team is clear on it. He said, we sabotage ourselves to reinforce our limited and broken belief systems. You must become the person you were meant to be before you get there. He said, you can't be a $100 million CEO without acting like a $100 million CEO before you get there. You don't wait till you're making $100 million to start acting like that person. You have to act like that leader before you get there. And Todd was our last guest speaker on Saturday, and he came and dropped the fire and said, the more you write, the more you retain, right? So writing it down, sharing your thoughts in the comments, writing out blog posts, the more you write and share with others, the more you retain, and which is totally true, because the more I teach sales to my team here at the clinic or our mastermind members, the better I get at sales. The more I teach marketing or systems to other people, the better I get at it. So the more we share and more we write down, the more we're going to retain. His big takeaway was energy is greater than time, and time is greater than assets, because we need more energy. So it's our energy that fuels this fire in becoming his term is a chillionaire. He's like, I'm a chillionaire. I get to chill and be the chillionaire, make millions of dollars. So remember, money has need for speed, and it's not the size of the load that you carry, it's the method you use to carry it. So it's not how big of the load, it's how you get it from point A to point B. It's the difference between running across country, riding a bike across country, taking the train, driving a car or an airplane. So those are my big takeaways. Hopefully there was a nugget in there for you. And if you don't have the context around the nugget, well, then you're just going to have to join us next year. The last person I want to give a shout out to is who's actually one of our speakers, Brandon Smith, but Brandon's also one of our Platinum Mastermind members. And our Platinum Mastermind members every year get to apply for the Entrepreneur of the Year contest. And we had 5 finalists, and they were all incredible, but only one person can win. Jess, Jenney, who won in 2021. Trent Corey, Outrun Your Knee Pain is this book. Owen Johnson, who's one of our newest members, who's just crushing it. and Dawn Chimento, who we've been working with since 2018. She came to one of our one-day boot camps, and she's got an amazing group called Potty World, and Brandon Smith. And Brandon, I just want to give Brandon a shout out for winning Entrepreneur of the Year contest. I don't have the trophy. I don't have the trophy in here anymore, but he wins a nice trophy. He wins an all-expense paid trip. But here's why Brandon is a very deserving winner. Like, everyone should win, and I would love to have brought up all our mastermind members, but we wouldn't have had time. But Brandon had an unfortunate incident where his parents passed away when he was like 18 or 19. And he's put himself through college, put himself through PT school. He went to get a master's degree. He got, and then to PT school, and master's in public health, and then to PT school, and got into his first job and just felt taken advantage of. And like, he's like, why do I have all this debt and I'm not making any money? He went and renegotiated himself another job in home health and started documenting this process. And in the process of documenting how he was making over $100,000 in home health, built a course and sold hundreds, if not thousands, of people into this course. He's made $100,000 in this one course verified through Kajabi, this program. But we started working together before he got to that 100K level. He had already been maybe at 50K level and made $40,000 in 1 week. This is dope. His very first week in the mastermind. Then we built out a monthly recurring revenue program for him where he's making at least 6 figures in monthly recurring revenue through a private community and a private Discord community for his out of the box income and investing. Plus, he's helped countless other people make hundreds, if not thousands, millions of dollars through renegotiating their salaries, finding better jobs, investing in the stock market, investing in crypto, and building their own businesses. He's got not only multiple streams of income, he's got thousands of subscribers on YouTube. He's making money through YouTube videos, lots of different places. And I know he's got, a long way to go to get to his peak, but the best is yet to come. And he is Brandon. So shout out to Brandon for it. If you're listening to this, dude, you're crushing it. Just keep crushing it. He is on a mission to change our profession, and he's doing it. And he doesn't really care if you disagree with him, right? And he's going to tell you how it is. And you might be like, "Oh, I've heard that guy." Whatever. Like, he is making a massive difference in our industry, and he's going to make an even bigger one for years to come. So congratulations, Brandon. If you don't know about Brandon, go check him out. YouTube, I think it's our Brandon Smith, or it's out of the box income and investing. He sent me a sweet red hoodie, which I should be wearing right now, but it's at home getting washed. So shout out to Brandon and congratulations for winning the Entrepreneur of the Year contest. Looking forward to working with you for years to come, to helping thousands more physical therapists grow and scale their business, their income, time, and your career satisfaction, which really is what's important to me. Because I came into this industry from another industry, massage therapy, and I was working as a temp, but I saw like how things can be different and how things should be different for us physical therapists, and that's why we're all here. So that's the end of this show. I hope that you take something away from that. Here's what's coming up. I got 16 new mastermind members to onboard this week. We've got another mastermind retreat to plan coming up in May. I have a vacation coming up next week. I'm going out to California. I'm actually going to go do my VIP day with my coach Bedros, and then I'm going to go skiing in Colorado with my best friend. So we're going to take a little break from the podcast, and we're going to come back with season 4. And in season 4, you can expect more strategic marketing, sales, interviews from people who are crushing it. We'll probably dive deep into, how do you level up your mindset, other things like that. And then PT Biz Con 2023. The plan is March. I don't know what the date is. We're going to do it live in person in Charlotte, North Carolina. So keep your weeks free for March next year. But there won't be an announcement for quite a while. But the number one thing I want you to do between now and the next episode is take the ideas that you have, that you've learned, and go and execute on them. And then once you execute on them, let me know how it's working. And then if you're like, okay, what do I listen to? Go back and listen to some of the early episodes. Go back and listen to any of the episodes that you haven't heard yet or that you need to go listen to again. Maybe go listen to the podcast episodes from all the speakers at PT Biz Con. You can find the list of speakers at ptbizcon.com. And then but the most importantly, don't just consume information. Take action on the information that you gather. Make a decision and do something, whether that's launch this marketing strategy or get a coach or quit being in business and get a job in another industry. But if you're not growing, you're dying. So get out there and take action, because taking action is the only way to grow yourself as a person, to grow your business, and to help other people. You're not going to do it sitting on the couch, just like your patients aren't going to fix their back sitting on the couch. This is Aaron LeBauer for the CashPT Lunch Hour. I'll see you on the next show. Peace.